I want to call this meeting of the Carpentersville Village Board to order. Chief, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Trustee Burroway.
Yes.
Trustee Stevens.
Here.
Trustee Humper.
Here.
Trustee Savi.
Here.
Trustee Rayburn.
Here.
Trustee Schultz.
Here.
President Ritter.
Here. Okay, next thing would be to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for an invocation from Pastor Zielinski of Fox Valley Baptist Church. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor Phil?
Father God, as we gather here this evening, we are grateful for all these people here and for what you do in this community. And Lord, we are grateful for the board that stands before us and ask you to grant them wisdom in their decision making. We thank you for our police and fire departments and ask you to continue to give them safety as they perform their duties day by day. And Lord, we pray for all those others who serve our community, whether it's public works or administration or whatever it may be, that, Lord, you would continue to help them to perform their jobs well and serve this village well. We thank you for the residents of this community and ask you to continue to bless them and this community. For the sake of our Creator, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Hi, how's it going? Good. Good. How's it going with your petition?
Okay. Moving on through the agenda, we have no appointments, confirmations, or administrations of oath. We do have awards amongst proclamations and congratulatory resolutions, and the fire chief will take over from here. Chief?
Wow, what a big crowd tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you to the children for all participating in this year's poster contest with the Fire Prevention Week theme. So I'm not going to take a lot of your time, but I do want to mention that as soon as the awards are over with, if you don't want to stay around for the rest of the meeting, if you exit and go out in front of Beesinger, in front of Village Hall on Beesinger Drive, there's a fire engine out there. Great opportunity to take pictures with your children and their awards in front of the fire engine. So great opportunity. With that, I'm going to turn it over to firefighter Matt Tracy and firefighter Tony Ferrero, the ones that are truly behind this endeavor and making all this happen. So with that, I'll turn it over to them.
All right. My name is Matt Tracy. I thank again everyone for being here. Briefly, we've been doing this poster contest over 25 years. It was started as a way to enforce the Fire Prevention Week theme of the year. This year that was don't wait, check the date, replace smoke detectors every 10 years. So there should be a manufacturer date on your smoke detector. Every 10 years you should be buying new smoke detectors, all right? So with that, we did these posters here. And we're going to go ahead and bring up all the winners, and then we'll go into the participation at the very end. So I'll turn that over to Tony to read all the names.
Okay, before we do that, we're going to call our special guest tonight, which is going to be Fire Pup. So Fire Pup, why don't you come out real quick and say hi to everybody? Everybody say hi to Fire Pup. Careful with those stairs, Fire Pup. Stand right over here, buddy. All right, thanks, guys. Right over here, Chase. All right, so we're going to get on with it. So for kindergarten, we're going to start with kindergarten. Can I have Julian, Louisa, Navi, and Allison please come up? Okay, so we're missing two. So for first place, we had Allison from Meadowdale. Second place was Navi from Sunny Hill. Third place was Louisa from Meadowdale. And fourth place was Julian from Sunny Hill. All right, stay up here. There you go. Round of applause. Tony. All right, first grade.
Oh, hang on. You get one more down here. She's a little reluctant
here.
to come forward.
Oh, is she a doll?
Come stand over here. Get her to
All right, guys, right over here. All right. So for first grade, can I have America, Renata Suarez, Iceland Martinez, and Elia Pinedo? All to the front right over here, please. Okay, so we have America Reyes got first place from Meadowdale Elementary. These are all from Meadowdale Elementary. America Reyes, first place. Renata Suarez, second place. Iceland Martinez, third place. And Alia Pinedo for fourth place. Parents, if you wouldn't mind greatly, we'll take some pictures at the end. You're more than welcome to take them in the hallway. But we're going to have a lot more kids up here. Thank you very much. All right, so...
Yeah, I guess.
You want them all up here? If you guys have gotten a trophy, you guys can stand up here, okay? Have all the kids who've got a trophy already, please come over here. We're going to keep you up here until all the end, okay? Okay. Todos que vinieron por frente, por favor, quede aquí, por favor. Gracias. All right, stand right here, guys. Okay. Second grade, could we have Maven Bacos, Diana Mendoza, Byron Ibarra, and Alejandro Gonzalez. Please come up to the front. So this is our second grade class, and from Parkview, Maven got first place. Diana's from Gulfview for second place. Byron is from Gulfview, third place. And Alejandro is from Gulfview, who got fourth place. Great job, guys. Please stay up here, okay?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It'll only take a few minutes.
All right. So now we have third grade. From third grade, can I please have Olivia Rodriguez, Carissa Hernandez, Natalia, and Cadence Delai. Please come up to the front. So our third grade kids, Olivia won first place from Parkview. Carissa got second place from Parkview as well. Natalia's from Liberty. She had third place. And Cadence is from Lakewood and had fourth place. Great job to you third graders. Okay, for fourth grade, can I please have Brianna, Arliano, Abigail Martin, Giovanni Soto. I think that's a Cubs player. Yeah. And Stephanie, please come up. This is fourth grade. Good job. Brianna she won first place. She's from Meadowdale. Abigail's from Liberty. She had second place. Giovanni is from Sunny Hill. He got third place. And Stephanie is from Perry. She got fourth place. Great job, guys. Okay, now we have our fifth graders. So for our fifth grade, can I please have Lucy Roller? Okay, Lucy's not here. Tristan Cantu, Vanessa Rico, and Logan Sivertson. So Lucy got first place. She's not here today, unfortunately. She's from Sunny Hill. Tristan is from Lakewood. He's second place. Vanessa is from Meadowdale, third place trophy. and Logan is from Liberty for a 5th place trophy. So please give a round of applause.
Yeah.
He told me to wait.
But he's been emailing me.
Oh, he's lining him up to according to height.
I have to have documents from the company.
So once our chief gets that all situated, we're going to announce the overall winner that we had. We have one more, guys. We have an overall winner.
Web-based training modules. Nothing on there for conflict of interest or because this may be somewhere in there. I just need it on file so that if anything looks suspicious or I do anything suspicious.
There was just something. Oh, you mean by Menards? Yes. I just saw something that it was they applied for the permit.
Great job, guys.
As far as I know, I just saw that. I had no idea it was even happening.
Okay, so we have an overall winner here.
Oh, if that's the case, I haven't heard it.
Just so everybody knows, we did something a little different this year with our overall winner. Overall winner got a ride in the fire truck over to Village Hall tonight and got a pizza party at the fire station. So job well done to him.
They weren't off the candies.
Overall winner is Bobby Smith. He's in 3rd grade from Liberty Elementary.
Too bad, because they said their stuff was really good. I hope not.
Great job, Bobby.
Is that still on track or is that, did they back out?
Chase. Stay right here. Huh? Right at the end. At the end, right before we leave. We all go out there.
All right. And before we are done, there's one last award that we're going to give out. This is something new that we started this year. We've tracked for a long time rough numbers. It used to be about 500 or 600 posters we got. Last year, I started tracking individual schools, and we had 709 participants, which was 21% of the eligible students doing posters. Really made a push this year to get more students involved, and we this year got 1,154 posters, which is over 36% of the eligible Carpentersville students who turned in a poster. So for that, I'd really like to thank the teachers, the principals, everyone who made that work. That's a ton of people that we met our goal of teaching this prevention to. And so along with that theme of getting more people involved, we decided to give out an award to the school that had the highest participation of eligible students. Just beating out Meadowdale this year was Sunny Hill, who has never participated before, with 79% of their students participating. So we can have a representative from Sunny Hill come up. Thank you.
No.
Okay. When they release us, everybody that wants pictures, head down the end of the hallway this way, and Sparky will be there, we'll be there, and we can take some more pictures, okay?
Folks, I want to thank you for coming tonight. This is the highest percentage we've ever had of people showing up for their awards. We'll take a 2-minute recess. Those of you who are leaving for the posters, have a nice night. Oh, thank you.
We wondered it.
Understanding of, I apologize. I'm glad it was pomp and circumstance and nothing serious.
How you doing?
I don't know, but
All right, we're going to call this meeting back to order, and we'll move right along here. Chief tells me we have no one for public comment tonight. Next would be the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of those items unless the trustee so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Any items to be removed?
item I, please.
Item I.
I'll motion to pass the consent agenda without item I.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of? Oh wait, no, we don't need a second. We don't vote on that, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Motion. Vote on the motions minus. All right, we need to take a vote on the motions minus item I. Chief, call the roll.
Trustee Stevens.
Yes.
Trustee Humphreys.
Yes.
Trustee Sabi.
Yes.
Trustee Rayburn.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Burway.
Yeah.
Okay, now on to item I, an ordinance amending Title V of the Carpentersville Municipal Code.
I'll motion
as
to pass
amended-
item I.
Well, let's finish reading here. As amended regarding the regulation of check cashing services. And now we'll take a motion.
I'll motion to pass item I.
Second.
All right, now Kevin, you wanted to change.
Yeah, it appears to me that there's no stipulation here that gives a window period of time for the businesses to adapt to this ordinance. So I'd like to propose a 6-month waiting period before this is enacted, so that we can notify businesses. Enforced, yes, enforced.
Can we just set a date, like May 1st? Okay, that's
Yeah.
just
yeah.
about 6 months.
Yep.
Okay,
That'd be fine by me.
motioner, is that okay?
I'll amend. Yes, I'll amend for that.
Seconder?
If that's
Yes.
Well, you probably want to recognize legal so they can.
I would just say what we would do with the concurrence of the board is we would add in Section 4 of the draft ordinance the effective date. The effective date would not be before May 1st, 2017, which is the format we've used for similar items in the past.
Sounds good.
Okay,
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
all right. Okay, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion?
Good thinking.
If not, Chief, call the roll on that, as amended.
As amended, Trustee Humphreys.
Yes.
Trustee Sabi.
Yes.
Trustee Rayburn.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Burway.
Yes.
Trustee Stevens.
Yes.
Mark, I'm going to ask, if somebody is in process and just lacking time because of construction or whatever, are we going to be all right with that?
I mean, it'll go in effect on May 1st, but the actual enforcement, like any ordinance and regulation, there is some latitude of the business community development. They'd work with the businesses to get to yes on successfully adapt, and they wouldn't stretch it out, a year or anything, but if they were actively pursuing their permit and had nothing but just a contractor waiting to finish some work, we would not prevent them from staying in business.
Okay. Okay, then we're ready for reports of manager, officers, commissions, and staff. Mark, any report?
We have 2 reports tonight, starting off first with Director Bob Cole, Public Works, on a Keith Andres update. We passed a proposal tonight, and Bob's going to review that.
Yeah. Thank you, Manager Rooney. On behalf of Public Works, we'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday. And tonight you did approve a resolution to enter into a contract for improvements to the Keith Andres Park Sacramento entrance. And I know that we've all been through this a little bit, but I would like to just, for the benefit of those folks at home, just run through the improvements one last time. This being Sacramento Drive, this is the asphalt path that Public Works installed last summer. This is the area where the starter hill, or the first jump, or I guess it's the starter hill is located. As you enter into the park, onto the path, you'll go underneath an archway sign. Continue to walk south. There'll be an informational kiosk, a memorial column and stone seat wall, and also a picnic area up over there. So let's take a walk. We're coming in off of Sacramento Drive. We'll cross under or pass underneath the Keith Andres Park archway sign. We'll come up to a informational kiosk, and then we'll see the memorial column and the seat wall. On the column, there will be 2 plaques. One plaque will have just a short bio of Keith Andres, and the second plaque will have a map of Vietnam and the location where he lost his life. There'll be some seating in there. This is a park bench, very similar to the benches that we've installed along the Fox River, and also that will be installed in Carpenter Park. And this is just a rough schematic of the handicap a picnic table that we'll be installing as well, or that will be provided. Now, this past summer, the Chicago Area Mountain Bikers Association, also known as Camber, they've been very busy in the park doing some improvements. Some of those improvements include the development of additional jumps, the installation of a split rail fence. They planted bushes, and this fall they spread topsoil, seeded and blanketed many of the jumps. And last week they capped off their season by installing a landscape wall and a boulder cap on the starter hill. Now, if you were to imagine walking up that path that Public Works installed last week, this is what you'll see. We have the boulder top and the stone or the landscape wall atop of or on the bottom of the starter hill. It's pretty cool. I really recommend that you go over there and take a look at it. I'm very excited about this addition to the park. I think that it'll improve the aesthetics of the community, and it'll draw a lot more people into our community, and they'll be using a lot of the restaurants and Walmart and all that stuff. It can only help the village of Carpentersville. And just a special plug on Public Works, we did provide a lot of manpower this past summer. We hauled countless numbers of dirt and clay to help Camber develop those jumps. We did put in the asphalt path. We hauled leaves out of there this past fall so that they could plant the seed and blanket the jumps. And we did a lot of work as well. I think that it's been a pretty good marriage between Public Works and Camber. We've worked very well together. And this is what you have to look forward to next summer. Any questions?
And Camber's going to work with you to keep it watered, right?
To keep it watered, yeah. We'll be working with Upland Design, and they'll provide us recommendations on the type of plants to plant along this area here. And we will work with Camber to keep those watered until they're established.
This area was all put in by volunteers from Camber.
Yes, sir.
And they are still going to landscape it, right?
Yep.
If I understand right, Pat, they're going to put plantings all up in
Well, yeah, there'll be some plantings there. I don't know, you're saying you're going to talk to Upland, but I wasn't sure if it's going to be through one of our commission members or to work with Camber.
No, we'll just talk to Upland Design and get their
Okay.
opinion on what should be planted.
Okay.
It'll just be a 2-minute conversation. I'm sure that
Yeah.
they know the right species to plant.
Yeah, for that area, so. Did someone else have a question?
No. Anybody else have a comment, Pat?
Well, of course, I'm going to comment here because I'm excited to see this, to be honest with you. I actually was visiting with an older resident today, this evening, and he agreed nothing had been done for years in that park. We all knew it would take a lot of money, and I'm proud that, I know Ed ran into Camber first and said, hey, I think we've got a great spot. They came down, they fell in love. You're right, it's been a wonderful partnership, and with Public Works help, with board support, and we did have a commission member. I did send it to the board, but he was down there. He was helping with that pave lock. Got it down there and ran into one of the folks that was working with the landscape company to put it in. He's a father who lives in the area, and because of what's going on in that park, he has bought bikes for his children. The neighbors' kids have bikes, and he asked them, did they think that having that kind of an interest in the park, was it a deterrent from them maybe getting into the wrong kind of circles? And he even threw in, a lot of video games and stuff. He said absolutely, they love the park. And so I think it's just been a wonderful asset, and I'm looking forward to further improvements for all our parks. So we're just really finally being mindful of them, and it's a great asset to the village. So thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Any other comments? I'll just make one again. This has been a really unusual project because it's gone in. It's really not been all planned out, but it's all come together as if we planned the whole thing out. And it's a lot of cooperation all up and down the line. Camber, the head of Camber sent me a note today, and he said, this really will be a regional or maybe even national attraction, because we're not going to quit until we have the whole park pathed out for bikes. There'll be a major, major bike park there when they're done and when we're finished. So, a wonderful thing to have happen in Carpentersville. Now we'll have 2 major city parks and 3 minor but very beautiful parks along the river. So that's really
exactly.
nice for a city park department, as opposed to a park district. It's a city park department. Mark, you had another report?
Yes, just briefly, I wanted to recognize Hitesh Desai to just quickly discuss the. Oh, you know what? We can just wait. I'm sorry. We're going to do that under new business, the insurance issues.
Okay.
So save time.
With that, then, we're ready for commission reports. Pat, anything?
Well, I just wanted to mention that our Christmas holiday decorating contest is still going on. I believe the cutoff date is this coming Friday, I believe. Isn't it, Bob? Or is it Sunday?
Sunday?
Sunday, maybe, yes. Sunday, excuse me. And then the events committee will have a meeting on on Monday. And next week, starting Tuesday then, for the remainder of the week, we'll be having judging. I think we've got about 30-some entries so far. 32. And so there's still some time. I was out and about last night, saw some wonderful homes, and was kind of hoping that they had filled out the form and entered their house. They really go through a lot of work, and they were really nice. So I'm looking forward to it, and should be another fun contest. And, it'll be fun to judge, too. I know we got a couple of people on the board here that are going to judge this year, so should be fun. So by all means, enter your home.
You said there's a meeting Monday?
Monday there would be at 6:30. We are meeting after the deadline is the cutoff, and then we'll go through, and then we'll set up the times for the judges to go out and judge. So for that week. So okay, and that would conclude my report.
Kevin?
Well, I believe.
I just kind of wanted to ask Pat, did we get some other judges from residents and families?
I don't think
Did we
we
put the-
didn't really. No, I think Bob sent out to some of our committees and to see
The
if
committee members
yeah,
and their
to see-
families?
Yeah, to see.
Okay.
Say
So
Mrs. Sabi and Maddie Sabi are judging.
Okay.
oh,
Okay.
okay, great. Yeah, so I think we should be okay this year. So okay. Thank you, Bob.
Anything else? Kevin?
There was no audit and finance meeting since the last board meeting. As many of our residents are aware, the bulk of our meetings happen in September and October when we flush out the next year's budget, and you can actually see the fruition of those meetings on tonight's agenda under new business. So we did not have audit and finance meeting.
Nothing for business development for this month.
Don?
Oh, yeah, I have a couple things here. First of all, I'd like to start off with the Carpentersville Coalition for Drug Awareness and Overdose Awareness. That will be meeting Thursday, the 8th, 7 o'clock to 8:30 at Public Works. I invite anybody from the public that wants to come there, students if you'd like to come there, all of the board members, anybody in Carpentersville. The door is open to you. It's an important organization. We've already started the process of forming that coalition. And again, if you've been through this before, you have to sit down, do a little brainstorming, write and stuff like that, and come up with ideas on how to address this, the severity of this problem. So that's Thursday, 7 o'clock, Public Works. Everybody's invited. Next, Jelke's Creek. Our next meeting will be January 9th. We're kind of taking a hiatus because of the holidays and such, and everybody's schedule. But what has happened over the past month is that we had the signs delivered for the various creeks around here in the Jelke's Creek Watershed Coalition area. They were delivered to Public Works for, I think we got 70 signs or 30 signs? What was it? Do you remember? Well, anyways, we got them there. They will be going up as soon as we determine, we've already made a kind of selected some areas where these signs are going to go. Wherever a road crosses a creek, that's probably, you'll see the creek name and the Jelkes Creek Coalition watershed insignia on there. So, but they're real nice signs, and thank you for your help on that, Bob. I appreciate it. Next, Quadcom. We had a Quadcom meeting on the 30th of November. Quadcom is the 911 where you call in if you have an emergency. And we went over the financials. Again, we had an audit done by Sheldon Fox, the auditor, and we got a pretty good audit out of it. There was no nothing major that was found for in the size of our organization, so there was no findings like that that would be considered, what do they call them, Paul?
Material.
Yeah.
Significant deficiencies.
Significant,
things
yeah.
like that.
For organization our size. Anyways, there was a recommendation by Sheldon Fox that, and I'll read this right from their report, Quadcom has significant capital needs that require ongoing upgrades for changes to regulatory standards and technology improvements, often at a significant cost to Quadcom. Management has begun an assessment of future technology needs, including an expected replacement schedule for current equipment. And that, so that long-range planning, that's what we need more of there. It's going to be costly. We have some things that are coming up. They're mandated. And so we started that assessment, and Beth is on top of it, and Beth Heitkamp, she's the director over there. She's on top of that, and we'll be seeing what comes down the pipe. But also I have something more technical that I'm going to turn over to JP that's coming up.
As part of those requirements or the recommendations to improve the technology of the radio system, there's a state mandate for law enforcement to be interoperable throughout the state of Illinois. And Quadcom fits that description, so their system is going to have to be upgraded. There is a subcommittee of the executive committee that is looking into this. I think it's 2020 or 2021 it has to be done by. So we're starting now, trying to be proactive and find a suitable and cost-efficient replacement system to meet that mandate. Also grant opportunities to go along with it.
Thanks, JP. And that's all I have.
Okay. And can I ask, is this relative to response by Quadcom to a call that would come in? Is that what the equipment you're looking to purchase?
The equipment is actually would be replacing the existing infrastructure that the law enforcement agencies operate on. They right now currently operate on a little radio like that's on a VHF or UHF frequency, and the mandate is going to have to move law enforcement to an 800 digital interoperable system. Similar where I came from, I was the project manager for that, so I'm with volunteering my services to the group to help guide that process a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be replacing the current system that they talk on now to one that's interoperable with multiple agencies, whether it's state, local, federal agencies. They all have to have that interoperability, able to talk to each other.
This is a state mandate?
State mandate that comes as part of the FCC's interoperability continuum model.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. That would conclude our reports. We have no old business. We have quite a bit of new business. I think we're going to tie some of this together, right? But the first one we have to do as is.
You could do as many of these in one motion if you want to. It's up to you.
we can do as many as we want on one motion. Then I would, I won't read them all, but I think we can go from A through K. If somebody wants to motion to pass all
I'll
of
motion to
A through
pass
K.
A through K.
A second.
Motion Paul, second Ginger. Mark, do you want to make any comments?
Yes, just, I know the audit and finance, we had 4 different meetings, totaled almost, 4 hours each, so about 16 hours, and we've had 2 meetings at committee meetings and a special meeting to go over the tax levy as well as the budget numbers that are being passed tonight. And we've had the public hearing on this, so I think it's been discussed, and it is available online. So if anybody wants to look at any detailed number of any one department or the total budget, that would be available, and they can contact myself or Hitesh Desai, the finance director, and we're always available at a reasonable turnaround time if someone has a question by an email or by leaving us a voice message.
The summary's on the newsletter as well, front page, right there for everyone to see.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, these are levies and abatements of levies, so that's why we're packaging it together. It's just easier to do. It's all been discussed throughout audit and finance and here at the board level as well.
An abatement means something that is, it's paid for in something other than property taxes.
Right.
So it's through another funding source other than property taxes. And we also have some extensions on bonds, and it's just general. I guess we tried to explain it
by
all.
By law, you have to levy for a bond repayment. If you have another source of income to pay for that bond, that's called an abatement.
Sure.
And so we look at both of those very closely when we go through levying for the village. So that's why, and each one of those has to be treated separately by law.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve items A through K on the agenda. Any further discussion or comments? If not, call the roll, Chief.
Yes, sir. Trustee Sabi.
Yes.
Trustee Rayburn.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Burroway.
Yes.
Trustee Stevens.
Yes.
Trustee Humphrey.
Yes.
Okay. Item L, a resolution establishing goals and objectives for the village of Carpentersville. I need a motion.
A motion to pass this.
A second.
Motion Paul, second Ginger. Only comment I guess we could make is that we spent a lot of time looking over all the things that we'd like to see happen in the future. We've created a list of goals that are available on the village website, and you can look at the things that the board has said we want to accomplish. We've also gone over ones that we've done in the past, and some of them have been removed, some of them have been renewed. But it's a pretty extensive document, but readily available. So if you're interested in the future of the village and the plans that we have for that future, you're welcome to look online.
And those goals then are the basis for a lot of the spending that takes place in the village on the documents we just passed as well, and that's in our budget document by department. So folks can see the priorities made of the goals of the village board are throughout the budget document as well.
It's, we've been doing this now for what, 6 years, 7 years? And this is this is a difficult meeting at times. A lot of these ideas we do get from residents. I would say some of them, we discuss, but it's really a good process. It's almost a risk assessment of where the village is and then planning to address those risks over the coming years. And we categorize our goals by short-term, medium, and long-term. And we move those goals accordingly. If we want to do something a little bit quicker, it gets moved up to a short-term or a medium-term. But those are stressful meetings for us as a group, and they're pretty interesting meetings to have. So I think that's when we learn more about each other, how we view the future of this village. But yeah. I'm really proud that we were able to put this type of document together and be able to share that with our residents to show that we're looking down the road of where we want to see the village go. And like I said, the residents are the ones that help us shape that document.
people, once in a while, somebody will say, you know, your meetings are awfully calm. You know, I said, well, I just put a little something in their water, so. But not really. The stress is taken out by coming to understanding before we get here. We use a goal-setting meeting for us to air our opinions and come to an understanding, and then we go from there. So it's not like we never disagree. So I say, you guys don't disagree very much, do you? Yeah, but we resolve it, and we get it to the point where we can have meetings that are calm and productive. Thank you, Ginger. That's the word I was looking for, productive. Anyway, any other comments on the goals or what we've done? If not, please call the roll.
Trustee Rayburn?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Burroway?
Yes.
Trustee Stevens?
Yes.
Trustee Humphrey?
Yes.
Trustee Sabi?
Yes.
Next item would be a resolution approving the village insurance package for the policy period of December 31, 2016 to December 31, 2017.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Jeff? Motion Jeff, second Paul. Mark?
I don't want to, this is where I'd like Tesh to come up, because I've sat in on most of the meetings, but a lot of the heavy lifting had Tesh and his assistant finance director, Katrina Hahn, have really done yeoman's work working with the carrier. And you'll note that we are changing brokers tonight with this action, and it's saving us about $30,000, but we are keeping every one of our liability and our property insurance carriers that we had the year before. We just have less broker's fees when we break this down with the new firm. And Hitesh will give you a little background on him. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you, Manager Rooney. This is about the 2017 insurance renewal and the selection of our TPA, the claims administrator, who does the claims administration for our general liability and the workers' compensation. Gallagher, the Manager Rooney mentioned, they are our new broker. You know, we did their selection a couple of months ago to act as our broker and to provide for the insurance service and to help us, you know, select the TPA, the claim administrator. So we worked with them to have our annual insurance renewal. The village needs the insurance for the general liability, workers' compensation, property, cyber, crime, pollution, and some of the other insurance here. And at the same time, our broker Gallagher helped us select Cannon Cochran Management Services, commonly known as CCMSI, to act as our claim administrator to handle our general liability and workers' comp claims. And one of the main reasons we chose CCMSI, I mean, they have quite a few, several comparable municipal clients in the state of Illinois, so they have kind of that kind of depth in experience. I think Manager Rooney touched upon this thing. It's same coverage as last year, but with the reduced insurance premium. Even we talked to the Gallagher and decided to keep all the SIS, which is self-insured retention levels, all kind of deductibles in common, and at the same level, and still kind of reduce our premiums. And overall insurance premium for the December 31st to the 16th to December 31st, 17 is $432,000. Now, obviously, this does not include the brokerage fees for the Gallagher and the payments which we are going to do to the CCMSI. Now, this is kind of the chart, and I think I gave the hard copies to the trustees to kind of have a look at the last 4 years' premiums. And if you notice that we have a reduction of roughly 7% this year compared to the last year, even after including the TPA fees and the Gallagher brokerage fees. So that's a good sign, keeping the same levels and keeping the same companies and no changes in our SIR. So that's where, this is kind of the, the coverage, you know, and we have pretty nice coverage, particularly even the almost $10 million in umbrella coverage and the excess workers' comp and all that. So, you know, village is not exposed to any kind of undue financial hardship because of any single claim or claims. This is about the CCMSI. I mean, we have like 5 or 6 different what do you call, people or the organization submitted their response for the claim administrator. And finally, in consultation with our broker, Gallagher Inc., we decided to go with the CCMSI. And as I mentioned, one thing that we needed somebody who has experience, dealing with our type of clients, which are the police, fire, public works, and all other things. And at the same time, to get a better handle on our workers' comp and general liability claims, the settlements, and all that. So after talking to Gallagher and looking at our past experience, they looked at our claim history for the last few years, we decided to go with the CCMSI. And again, their cost is a little higher than our previous one, but that could go down because this is based on estimated claims, and obviously that includes some of the data conversion thing. But potentially this could go down by $5 to $8 grand, so obviously we would save the money there. That's it. Any other questions?
Go ahead, Paul. So could you go back a few slides to this one, Hitesh?
Second page.
Second page. So that, one more back. So that yellow box at the bottom, that's our retention on it. That's our deductible on whenever we have a claim. We focus on this a lot as a board to make decisions, especially in legal situations, not go too far down the path. But it's a lot for us to take on as a village. Those deductibles used to be lower, but this has been pretty consistent now, I would say, for the last 4 or 5 years. We've been at these levels, and they seem to be working well. And then the layers above it, the red, the yellows, the red, the gray, blue, those are, if you have a claim that goes into that layer, that's a company that would pick that up and be responsible for making claim payments. And they get premium for participating in that reinsurance level. And then you see it on the light blue on the very top. That's if we have a major claim that what they call pierce that layer. There's it should be marked up there, but there's a number of insurance companies that participate at that level, so they spread the risk. So just to understand what we're seeing here and deciding as far as next steps for our insurance program. For the we have some underground tanks. Is that going to fall within pollution?
Yes.
Okay. And that used to be a separate coverage that we would have to purchase. So
we have a separate coverage.
any gas that we have that's got a tank in the ground, that's a separate coverage for us. And it's important because if it leaks, then you have to go back and make sure that insurance company's still around to make those claim payments. So a very comprehensive insurance program, a lot of thought, and probably the thing that we're not even focusing on that's, I think, the most important thing is how we prevent claims from happening, is really, talking to the department heads, ensuring they have good safety procedures in place, trying to reduce the number of claims. We have a vested interest to not try to have as many claims as we've had in the past because it causes us to pay more money down the road. So the risk handling, how we make things safer are very important, and I think residents need to know that. And it's little things that you find that make the most impact in preventing claims from happening. You don't want your employees to get hurt. You don't want your workers to get hurt. So the more you put preventative measures in to stop that from happening, the lower insurance costs we'll pay overall as a village. And since we've left the pool, the municipal pool, I would say we've saved ourselves a lot of money on premium as well as claim handling.
Almost over $200,000 annually.
And so going out to the market, which is what we've been doing on a number of things, selling bonds is another situation where we go directly to the market and handle those. It's a maturity of this organization to be able to go out and do that, and I really think it speaks to the manager and his team to be able to provide that level of expertise so that we can save $200,000 a year in premium costs, and that's meaningful. Those are dollars that we can spend elsewhere as a village.
And you're right, absolutely, Trustee Humper. I mean, if you look at here in 2014 premium, $595,000 in the very first column. I mean, had we stayed with our existing company, the ACE, the premium quoted was $700. So we looked at, and I looked at the company, the Alteris, which is part of the Argo group, and they are very good company, you know, very good group, and we changed it, and we saved over $100,000 by just changing the company.
Yep. Argonaut's a great insurance company. They've been around for probably a century at this point.
We were at one time in an insurance co-op, more or less, with other villages.
Yeah, when we started.
We were kind of pushed out of it because we had too many claims, and then we were kind of, what are we going to do now? But we went to finding our own. Paul pushed us to make sure that we were doing things safely. We got better quotes. That was really a good thing that we got kicked out, because it's been nothing but better ever since. It's been 7 years of lower and lower and lower payments. Just one of the things that has happened in Carpentersville over the last 10 years that has, people don't think about your insurance for your village, but we do, and we've managed to turn it into a savings instead of a continuously rising penalty. And I just want to make sure Paul gets a little tap on the back for that, because he worked hard to see that we did the right things, because he was in the insurance business.
Thank
Any
you,
other
Paul.
comments or questions, Pat?
No, I just said thank you, Paul. So.
And Hitesh,
Okay, thank you.
Are you
No.
finished then?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Hitesh, also very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I did want to, Hitesh, extend our sympathies to you and your family.
Oh, thank
Hitesh lost his father right at the start of this, right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, November 12th.
Oh.
And
Sorry,
had to
Hitesh.
fly back to India, and right in the middle of all this, and he still kept everything, kept all the balls juggling and got it all done, and even with being in India for what, 10 days, 11 days?
Almost 15 days, yeah.
15
because
days. So,
under our, what do you call, Hindu religion, we have certain things on 12th and 13th day, rituals to be done on, so yeah, I could leave after that's done.
well, thank you very much. We appreciate all your efforts.
Very
It came
sorry,
at a terrible
Hitesh.
time for
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
to have to do all this. Well, you got it done. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, item N, resolution approving an agreement for third-party administrator services between.
There was no vote on item N.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I always like to get in a hurry.
Our new clerk is really keeping us in
Thank you.
check.
Thank you there, Sir Clerk.
Good thing you came back from lunch.
All right, we have to vote on item M. Any discussion at this point beyond what we've already said? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Schultz,
Yes.
Trustee Burraway,
Yes.
Trustee Stevens,
Yes.
Trustee Humfer,
Yes.
Trustee Sabi,
Yes.
Trustee Rayburn.
Yes.
Okay. Item N, a resolution approving an agreement for third-party administrator services between the village and Cannon Cochran Management Services Incorporated. Motion?
I'll motion to pass this.
I'll second.
Motion Paul, second Ginger. Mark?
I think Hitesh covered it. It's the TPA, that's the third-party administrator that we use when we have a claim, whether it be a car of the village or a truck of the village involved in an accident. We go to them, or if it's a lift station that malfunctions and there's water goes into a basement and everything in between, the third-party administrator deals with that on the property casualty liability insurance. They also, if we're sued for anything, we work with them and come to terms with what lawyer and what law firm to use in-house for them, or one of our recommended firms. And so they have a great deal of experience in the liability insurance in the state of Illinois, and we found that to be an issue because there are some very specific issues with the Illinois legislature, especially as it involves firefighters. We had a problem last year with Lieutenant Daly. We thought we were doing everything by the book, and Lieutenant Daly got a lawyer and said, no, I think you made a mistake on X, Y, and Z. And it really hurts our credibility with the employees if we make those type of mistakes. And that's one of the chief reasons we've changed third-party administrators, because they continue to make mistakes on the law, on the facts. and it just can't be tolerated because it costs some on the money side, but more importantly, the credibility of treating the employees right the first time. So this firm has got a great deal of Illinois experience, and we have great faith that we'll rectify some of those situations going forward.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? If not, call a roll.
Trustee Burroway.
Yes.
Trustee Stevens.
Yes.
Trustee Humphreys.
Yes.
Trustee Sabi.
Yes.
Trustee Rayburn.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that takes us up to trustee reports. We'll start with Paul this evening.
Yeah. So I don't really have a report other than to wish everybody a happy holiday. I think the fire. I do want to mention. I think the fire department did a great job tonight with handing out the awards for the poster contest. It's become a hallmark here at the village to have that contest every year, and we enjoy it as I know I enjoy it. I'm sure the rest of the board members enjoy it as well. I know we have one more meeting before we get into Christmas, but if there's any holidays between now and then, just want to wish everybody happy holidays.
I've had a couple people in my neighborhood approach me about some people who are going door to door selling energy, and I don't. And they were asking me, did they have a permit? And I'm like, well, I don't know, but I could definitely find out for you. But I will be getting an answer to that and reporting back to those people. However, if somebody does come to your door, you can ask them for their permit to show it to you. And if they don't have it, please report it back to us because they're not supposed to be there. There's a reason we have permits. It's so that people are not committing any fraud and that people who are coming door to door are reputable.
And on that point, just advise the public to call Quadcom.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be an intruder alert that you call Quadcom. They will alert the police and rectify the situation right away on checking the village for permits, and the police then can deal with it when they're in the neighborhood, not a day or a week later.
Right. Also, I've had a couple people reach out to me about the new traffic patterns that we're trying out specifically by Liberty School. If you have any concerns or feedback, please report back to us. We're trying this out. We want to see how it works. And if there's something you like or don't like, please let us know. This is something we are just trying right now, and it seems to be going very well. But I've had a couple people who are concerned with that, and we want to hear that so we can discuss it. Third, with the snow coming this time of year, my father was a firefighter, and he always reminds me, and I like to remind you, when you get snow, if you have a fire hydrant in front of your house, please clean around it. If you, God forbid, have a fire, you don't want them having to spend extra time looking to get to the fire hydrant or cleaning or dropping a tool and losing it in the snow. So take a minute when you're cleaning your sidewalk and clean around your fire plug. And just last, happy holidays. Thank you.
No trustee report for me tonight. Thank you.
Just a couple of things. I want to first, I know this was available to us in the emails, but we've had this discussion and want to thank Mike and other staff for getting Foxview up and running with their cameras. I don't know if they're installed yet or if but they will be soon, and it certainly sounds like it's a lot better situation than it's been, and so glad to see the cooperation with Steadfast. I have not talked to Pastor Ball. Don't know if they're having another meeting that they have down there, maybe after the holidays, but I know the residents there. I mentioned there's a core group down there that has been concerned for a while. They're going to be very happy to hear about this. So it was really a great job. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I also wanted to mention, too, speaking of Pastor Ball, mention this too, talked to our IT director. I think we're going to move ahead. We've got about, I think it's maybe 8 or 9 churches now that will be forming that Carpentersville Clergy Committee. And so they will have, Kevin will put them on emails on a distribution list, and then Pastor Ball will take it from there. And I talked to Pastor Zielinski tonight. He would like to add someone, and then also they'll be setting up their meetings. And what I'm hoping ultimately is that we will get feedback from them as to what they're hearing in their parishes, and you know, if there's anything we can change, do better, help with, and in turn, as I told Pastor Zielinski tonight, hopefully engage our residents too in attending our special events and being current with what's going on in the village. So that'll be coming up very shortly. So, and then I did want to mention, lastly, I know, don't want to steal Ginger's thunder, stop me if I am, but Ginger had sent out an email, and Paul had concurred the newsletter was very nicely done this past time. There's a lot of information in there. It was really well done. Appreciate everyone's help, Sam and interns and Jeff and whoever was contributing. I know it was a team effort, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. And lastly, just want to mention again, don't forget the holiday decorating contest. Got a few more days, and I hope we can get a few more entries in, and looking forward to it. Oh, I should mention we will this year be announcing the winners the first meeting in January this year. Was a little tough to do, to try and get done before the holidays. So that'll be at our first meeting in the new year. So and with that, like Paul said, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, something very simple here. As you know, a few years ago, we started carrying Narcan in our squad cars, and it saved another life the other day. So that's a good thing, and we'll continue on that path. Again, happy holidays to everybody out there. I guess we'll be back here on the 20th, right? So we'll all have our Christmas ties on then, right? So I'm looking forward to that. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and
Find mine.
And happy Hanukkah. I guess that will be in that's about the time for that.
Cover that then, too.
Yeah.
Let's see, Hanukkah's the same time as Christmas this year.
And everything's good. We're moving along, moving forward as we always do with this board. Thank you.
Ginger.
I just have a couple of things. My holiday season kicked off Saturday with Shop with a Cop. Lots of fun. We got to go to our new Walmart, and we had, help me out, how many families?
45 families, more than 100 kids.
More than 100 kids. And each kid got a coat this year, which was really exciting. In the past, only certain ones met the criteria and got coats, but this year everybody got coats. So it was a lot of fun. My kids knew exactly what they wanted, and they went for it, and we were done shopping in like 15 minutes flat. Other kids, and I remember we had $2, they each had $2 left to spend, and it was like, oh my God, where's the $2 bin? You know, how can we go and spend this? And then we ran into the Play-Doh crib. They had a big section of Play-Doh. And I'll bet that thing was empty by the end of the day because it was like, that's the way to spend your last. They were 50 cents a piece, I think. So each of my kids, the kids got 4 of them to finish off their $100 spend. But it's just so rewarding to see the expression on their faces. They just light up, and they're just so excited and so thankful. The kids, they just kept saying thank you, thank you, thank you, and so I look forward to this every year. So it was a lot of fun, and thanks to all the organizers. Mike, you did a tremendous job. Joe, Griselda. I'm sure I'm missing some of the other folks.
Takes an army.
It does. It really does take an army, but another successful Shop with the Cop. And last but not least, I did want to talk about the newsletter that came out this quarter, the end of the year, and I read it. Normally I just kind of scan through it and go, yeah, okay, yep, I know that, okay, fine. But you know, this has articles in it that really caught my attention, and I thought this is something that the residents really need to read. It's so informative. It talks about our budget and how we lowered the tax rate. It talks about Carpenter Park and the renovation that's going on. And heaven knows there's been a lot of discussion on Facebook about the renovations going on in Carpenter Park. So it's got the picture, because people are going, what is disc golf? we don't need we don't need a golf thing at the park. Well, it's not, you don't use a club. It's not the little white ball with the dimples. It's, a Frisbee type of thing. So, but then it goes into the street projects that were done this year. And if you stop and you read this, I'm amazed at how much got done this year. Tree planting program. So, safety tips for the winter. The new sign, absolutely. The readout, the event boards. I couldn't say enough about this. I just think that it was done fabulous, and thanks to staff for putting it together. Did a great job. So I hope everybody takes time to read this. If you didn't get it in the mail, it's on the website. Can they pick up copies here?
At the finance counter, there's extra
I thought so. At the finance window, come on in and pick up a copy, and I'll save my happy holidays for the next meeting. That concludes.
Perfect example of don't blink or you'll miss something good happening.
Exactly.
It makes me, and I think the whole board, very proud of the way this village has moved forward. And I don't want to say the board moved it forward. A lot of it is people initiative. We have lots of people who are landscaping their properties and taking more interest in what goes on here. And that's more important than anything we can do, is when the people of the village get involved and want things to be better. And I think people really want it to be better, and so it is. That's the way it goes. I only have a couple things. I'm a member of the Fox Valley Sustainability Network. It's a group that's trying to blend together the ideas of progress and green living, and saying, it is possible to find ground where everybody's happy, where villages can move forward, they can progress, they can have more stuff, but they can do it in a way that is good for the environment. So it's an exciting thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'll be able to give you more information as we go. There's a meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock at Judson, a 2-hour meeting, and they'll have 6 or 8 different topics, and people will go to the one that they want to talk about, and they'll all share ideas about what they're doing. And eventually there's going to be a separate mayor's conference where we will share ideas that are not necessarily just green, but green with jobs, green with infrastructure, green with, so that's where I'm hoping that I will be able to go, is to these meetings where we learn ways to invite green industry to come to Carpentersville and set up shop here. And so forth and so on. Well, anyway, it's a really nice concept. It's just getting underway. They've only had a few meetings so far, but I'm excited about it. And I was also happy to see that Sunny Hill School was involved this year. I don't think they've been involved in the past, but it was really nice to get them involved in this principals competition. School with the best participation was an ideal thing. Anytime you can do school-to-school competition, you see a big improvement in overall interest and participation. Anyway, with that, that would conclude my remarks. We do have closed session tonight. We have section 2C1, 2C21, and 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act. And so I would like a motion to move to closed session.
A motion.
Motion Ginger. Second Don. Take the roll, please.
Trustee Stevens.
Yes.
Trustee Humphord.
Yes.
Trustee Sabi.
Yes.
Trustee Rayburn.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Burraway.
Yes.